We are humans, and in society, we're often oblivious to that. We forget that we're like this intelligent species on this planet that's responsible for so many things. As individuals, I just think that our biggest responsibility is to be self-aware. Some of us are not. And as an artist, artists are like messengers, They get these ideas from somewhere. And so if you look back, if you want to know what's going on in the world, all you have to do is really look at the art or listen to the music, and it just comes through. That's our job as artists, is to be honest about what we're feeling. And what we're feeling is not always going to be perfect. Sometimes it's going to be controversial. Sometimes it's going to piss a couple of people off. Sometimes it's going to motivate people. Sometimes it's going to inspire. We should use our platforms where we can, even if it's on a subliminal level. Just do what you can. Just think about it think different is such a really aspirational and inspirational phrase that was used by Steve Jobs. But he was of German and Syrian descent. Imagine if Paul and Clara didn't adopt him. Where would our world be right now? We have to be open. So I learned very early on that which makes you different is what makes you special. The differences these days are usually the fodder, oh, you're different. Yeah. You sound different, you think different, and even worse, you identify different. But no, you don't understand. Well, that's humanity. That's the greatest part about us, is when we can walk in the room and represent different. So many of us are held captive by our fears and our flaws and our insecurities and the pressure of life. But you gotta let those things go. You gotta let it go and liberate yourself. And you have no idea how much is holding you back and it's interrupting you from being your pure selves. That term is very important, self-awareness. You gotta be aware. And a lot of times, things are happening so fast, you're not really aware. Sometimes I have a delayed response. I'm a late bloomer. Sometimes I have delayed responses to things. You just gotta know yourself, know thyself. When you do, you're able to harness these moments when they catch you off guard, and when you're blindsided, you're able to harness it and harness the situation better. And I had to learn that we're in the universe. The universe is a part of everything that we do. It's so crazy for us to think as individuals, everything comes from us. Your ideas, everything that you get is coming from a library of existence. Nothing is new under the sun. Nothing is new. Once you realize the insignificance of yourself, then you understand what your actual significance is. People think, I wrote the book. It's no, you don't understand. You're lucky to be a comma in the sentence of a paragraph that happens to be in a page of a book called existence. You're lucky to be the dot on an I. Lucky. Or turn it upside down. The dot on the bottom of an exclamation. You are lucky to be that. But imagine the people that walk around thinking that they are the book. And when I realized that broke me. I couldn't hear what I had and what I was because I was distracted by hubris. Lack of self-awareness. I just didn't know. I was driven by ego. Now I am driven by gratitude and wherewithal. Not everybody has it. I always say that which makes you different is what makes you special. So if you have something that's different, then continue to work on that and push that. Because if it's ever going to work for you, it's going to be when you're being the purest version of you. You don't want to get famous being something that you're not. You'll get tired of wearing that mask. Pumice your difference as much as you can until you can make that shine. And if that glimmers to 100 people in the room, great. If it glimmers to the Hot 100 charts, then great. But you'll sleep really well every night. You have to be willing to seek. You have to be willing to be real frank in your choices. I want all of you guys to know that you possess the ability to do that for yourselves. It's just, you just have to be willing. I try to tell people all the time, you think you're here because of you. You're not. If they don't support you, you don't make it. You make great music, but is that really enough for you just to make good music? And a lot of people say, oh yeah, it is. But then you see them and something's not going right. So what's wrong, bro? Oh, this is not working. But wait, don't you got the song? And that's when they realize they want a little more than that. Failure hurts pretty bad. It hurts pretty bad. But when you got good people around you, they remind you that failure is actually just a lesson. It's how not to walk so you don't fall again. If you allow failure to take on more of a role in your life than possible, then you'll always look at it on the defense. And you'll always shoot yourself down before it even goes anywhere. Oh, I'm not gonna do that because this is just gonna happen, or I'm not gonna do that. And I was just a perpetual dreamer. And so every time I fail, I noticed where the scars were on my leg, and I noticed the way I was walking. And I just didn't walk that way anymore. Failure honestly could be like the best lesson. And it's like the one that like God wants you to really pay attention to. It's why it hurts. The pain will help you remember how not to walk, what directions not to go. But failure is not always a bad thing. You just have to be smart while you're in the middle of it. And you're in the eye of the tornado of like disappointment to know that it's just a storm and it'll pass.
I'm the trout. You know, I like to swim upstream just because I feel like there's so much more space in the negative space. There's so much more room in the negative space. It's like if everyone is just staring at Mona Lisa, I'm like, you know what? There's an incredible, huge backdrop behind her. There's got to be something in there for me. Let me go looking. I never really liked going with the flow. I've just never really been interested in being a part of the camouflage.
Just speak your truth. It's not going to be perfect. You guys would be so offended if someone just said to you, no, no, stick to this. This is what you are. You're like, no, I'm going to color outside the lines. In fact, I'm going to start on this side of the page. As long as I concentrate on the fun, it usually turns out cool. It's when I become too worried about how it has to be and what, that's when, God spends a lot of time chuckling at me. But when I just let it go and just go with the flow and just do things that I enjoy, I've just had this incredibly eclectic journey of just great opportunities to collaborate with people who are far much more experienced than I was. And that's what's been beneficial to me. The opportunities are around you. You just have to have the sight. There are tons of people who have made great music, great art, great whatever, but you don't know about them until the people lift you to a certain height so that you could even be visible and get any kind of recognition. In my delusional brain, and I think for anyone to be successful and dream big and do big things, you have to have a half a cup of delusion. You have to, or it's never gonna work. You just cannot be like filled of reality. It's not gonna work. There has to be some delusion in there. People probably get tired of hearing me say grateful and thankful, but I'm still considering myself like this producer guy that gets all these opportunities. So I know a lot of it seems mapped out. And if it does, the only thing that links everything together is like my intentions. My intentions remain the same. So when things work out, it always seems like, wow, okay, he just lined this up. Okay, cool, he just lined this up. And really all it is just seizing these great opportunities. It's never too late. It's never too late to recognize something that you love as something that is meaningful to you. And you don't have to chase commercial success or financial success with whatever it is that you love, because that's not what your love is about. Your love is about that thing, and it drives you so much that you would do it for free if you could. And you should treat it like a dream and literally just start. The crazy thing is, like, the universe is the reason why we're here. We're all in the universe right now. It was here before us. It's gonna be here after us. I believe in the force that holds the Kuiper Belt together. Earth turns around 1,000 miles per hour. Our planet Earth spins around the solar system 55,000 miles per hour. And I feel like if our world and Earth can hold itself in place in that special Goldilocks zone that allows us to exist, there's no reason to worry about anything. We get caught up in these things every day. We get caught up in so much stuff every day. And I know it's a lot. You're alive, you're breathing right now. You don't have to think about that. So what you should think about is what makes you happy, and be who you're gonna be and go after it. Don't listen to these people who wanna put you in a box. Don't listen to them. Be you. No matter whether you're 8 or you're 80 years old, like, it's never too late to like start building your dream piece by piece. Literally, like, now really is such a better word than never. What's stopping you? They're gonna try to put you in a box. It's what they do. You never lose your curiosity. I don't care who you are, you never lose your curiosity. Complacency kicks in when your distractions get louder than your curiosity. When you kill all the distractions, your curiosity is blaring, and you just find yourself asking questions. And you find yourself creating thought experiments. You find yourself enraptured by investigation. And if you have the skill set and you know how to transmit what the universe is sending you in terms of answers to these curiosities, and you have the ability to make that music that is, no pun intended, timeless. Listen, what the universe has for you, no man, situation, or thing can stop it. Not even your own ego. And the people who suffer the most are the ones that are like relentless. And like I said, egotistical distractions get super loud. And when you just can't hear that, you can't hear that inner voice, you can't hear that curiosity, because it's not loud. I did say curiosity is blaring loud, but that inner voice of self-awareness is not loud. You gotta quiet down the distractions, man, and just listen. It's a sum of a lot of yeses. You know, when you come from where I come from and you look like me, you hear a lot of no's. But the universe itself said yes, because this is nearly impossible. This is a dream. Be who you are on the inside, regardless to the projections that people around you or your environment, regardless to the boxes they try to place you in. Be who you're gonna be. And they'll catch on or they won't, and it's okay. Waiting to be accepted by everyone else is actually a waste of your time and space. You know, that word is very interesting, human being. We're not human been or human gonna be, right? The time is now, and now is better than never. Be exists. And if they don't get it, that's okay. They'll figure it out later. But you gotta be on your timeline. It's okay to be you, even if they don't get it. The misfit, the outcast, the weirdo, all of that. You're all these things until you be yourself and you give context of what you are by being yourself. All of you have different walks of life, different tribulations, different trials, where your environment is telling you you're not this, you're that, but you feel like you're this, and they think you're that, and they try to put you in a box. You all do different things. You all like different things, and it's okay to be different. But we're hoping that you realize that you're a part of this human community, and nothing can stop us when we accept our differences. That's how the universe works. There are all these triggers, and not all of the ending results will be what you think it's supposed to be. It's what was written. There's always a bunch of older folks who are in positions of power who don't think as progressively as the younger generation and seek to hold things and try to keep things as yesterday when we already know it's already for tomorrow. Who knew on the other side of chord structures that would make me emotional as a child would lead to this moment right here? On the other side of that, of those chords, was the distance to this moment. I mean, I want this for everybody. I want everybody to wake up every day going, how did this happen? I love doing this. I feel like I get paid for free. So I'm doing what I love to do. I want that for everybody.